Alright guys, and welcome back here in the middle of Bushina's small hut where we have last time, or let's call it this way, Bushina saved us, and after a big fall and some hallucinations, we were kinda saved, right? And the story did unfold pretty rapidly, right? So we were all of a sudden pretty, we were chilling and sitting by the fire with our people from Rotai, and then all of a sudden everything got super tense. All of our friends got killed at the battle. We don't know yet who these people are. But yeah, yet here we are, and we did manage to survive, besides Hans, who's lying over there, and we are now stranded here in Bushina's hut. And obviously, we have to survive, right? And currently we do still have the issue with our back, right? We got hit from an arrow while we were fleeing, and as you can see, guys, since we're in the hardcore mode, right, we're losing food a lot faster than usual, or we are getting hungrier a lot faster. So we definitely have to, we'll definitely have to like make sure we find something to eat. I'm gonna grab those arrows here as well. But yeah, we just lost like literally 10 food just by standing around here, guys. Okay, so we'll have to definitely make sure that we'll find something to eat. Hello. Okay, so this is the hut here. And then we have a chest with medium lock, some bandages. She has a lot of like potions and stuff like this in here. Very interesting. Let us see if we, she said something of food outside of here. So let us see. Oh, a weak savior schnapps. That's beautiful. Saving the game. Yeah, that's a lot. That's super important in hardcore mode. I can tell you that, guys. And then we're gonna grab those apples. And I think
I could go for something to eat.
Yeah, I know. I think we need to shortly rest a bit, right? So we're still super weak, and eating that and like having something to eat, I think will definitely help us out. And yet we still can't really like just relax, right? We still have to watch out, and I think first thing first, guys, we'll definitely need to wash ourselves here. And there is someone lying around here. So I would like to see if we could make use of this. Yes, please.
This will be the weapon used by the bastard who cut up Sir Hans.
I'll just grab everything, guys. And then also get the... Hold up, guys. We just learned something. Let me actually see. We learned the tools. What is that? Here. Basic agricultural tools in a Czech medieval village included Henry's trusted shovel, and then Etz's hoe, spades, shears, knives, axes, flails, scythes, rakes, forks, and also plumbing tools such as the beam plow, turn plow, air plow, and harrow. So these are items which you were using for, lifting the ground, right? And then use seeds and stuff. Obviously, in the, during Middle Ages, the amount of tools were obviously improved, and especially I think the plow was something which was developing sort of like gradually, and which was intertwined with the mechanic to use a field, or to split the field into 3 sections, and then in every section you're using a different seed. There is probably an English word for this. In German we would call it Dreifelderwirtschaft. And this is like, I don't know if it's called like this, but like 3 field agriculture or something like this. This is like that 1-to-1 translation. And obviously for that, you had, you were intensifying the agriculture, so that means you had way much more output, because you needed more output since the population also grew a lot since like 11th century, especially 11th century, and the whole like countryside, the whole development of the countryside got way much more intensified. And obviously you needed way much more tools and better tools just to get more output, right? So that's kind of like the background of this. Later agricultural instruments played, among other things, a decisive role in the hands of skilled farmers during the Hussite Wars. When, with minor improvements, they proved surprisingly useful not only for threshing grain but also enemy knights. Interesting. The versatility of the tools and also the ingenuity of the medieval people is evidenced by a preserved poem from the Chilava region on the border of Bohemia and Moravia. Chilava maidens are quite fine folks, they curl their hair with manure forks. Okay, wild. And then, let us check those clothes. Can we... We can even, you know, we can actually repair them. We have a tailor kit. So let us grab these. Yeah. Yeah, the game is obviously a bit stronger, right, and gives us a bit more health. Or survivability, I'd hope. Then we're gonna grab the weapon here, which we just found. And the torch. The hunting sword is the faithful companion of every hunter or poacher. It's usually used to finish off hunted game, but it's also handy for cutting kindling for a fire. Unfortunately, we can't use or can't make fires yet, I guess. Let's talk to Bushina. What the fuck?
And you didn't faint while doing it. I'm pleased, Henry. I had to pour a whole Lethean potion into you last night.
Damn.
That's what I call medicine. It can either put a dead man back on his feet, or make sure he never gets up again. So consider yourself lucky.
I will. But what about Capon?
Well, he's less lucky. That brute really knocked him about before Hans beat the life out of him.
Is there any way I can help? I owe it to Capon, and I want to do whatever I can.
You owe him, all right. I've got a bit of that Lethean potion left. It ought to work wonders on him, same as on you. But I can't just give it to him now. First, we have to deal with that fever. The best and fastest remedy for that is chamomile decoction. Luckily, it ain't too hard to brew, but we'll need some fresh sage for it. And, of course, chamomile. You ought to be able to manage that. You've got young legs and eyes, and I reckon a bit of a stroll would do you good.
Okay, I don't think we can say that we know about herbs that much, so I would probably stay passive here. Since obviously since the fall, we probably forgot some things. And Henry wasn't really that about herbs in KCD1 either. So I think we are maybe kind of like recognizing a new topic we could get into here. And maybe even find ourselves a new activity, right?
Sage
Personal use
has
as well.
a purple blossom, and chamomile has white petals with a yellow center. At the back of the hut, there's a footpath leading up to the rocks. You go along there till you reach a sort of small meadow. You ought to find both of them there.
Great. I'll be back in a jiffy with a couple of handfuls.
All right. I'll be glad if you get back here soon. I don't feel right being here with that corpse in my yard. Seeing him lying there gives me chills. I can't think straight.
I understand. It makes me anxious too. Maybe I could manage to bury him somewhere. Or at least hide him somewhere further off in the woods.
The Lord be praised. I'd be truly
I think we're gonna
glad of
deal with that
Oh,
first, right?
Do you feel up to it, laddie? You ain't in the best
But
of
yeah,
shape, and
true,
digging
we
a
are still...
grave's a tough job, even for a healthy fella.
I think we're gonna try it out, right? I mean,
I'll
we
see
don't
what I
see
can
if we
manage.
can still have some
It's on
strength
account
left.
of us that he's here anyway. I wouldn't want you to have any more trouble. And a bit of effort.
So I think we're gonna
if it serves
first
the job,
collect
is
the
the least
herbs
I
so
can
that
do.
we can
Well,
like get used to
if
the
you think you can
feeling of
manage it,
getting
good,
back
but don't
up to
overstrain
the feet and
yourself.
stuff, right?
And thanks.
Where should I put him?
Grab the spade by the dung pile and bury him by the creek. The soil will
creek,
be
okay.
softer there, so it should be easier. When you head out the gate, follow your nose. Find a good spot somewhere in the reeds and nettles. And when you're done with that, better have a wash. so's you don't have the stench of death on you.
True. I'll bear that in mind.
I'll sort out the rest with Ignatius, the gravedigger, when he comes by again, so's I don't have that wretch lying here till Judgment Day.
All right,
Fair enough.
I'll get to it.
Alright, we'll need to pick up the corpse, but I'm not gonna go for that. Yeah, I mean, we can pick up the map now. But yeah, in hardcore mode, I don't think it matters too much. So we're probably around here, right? Where the G is, where the corpse should be close. And then we have to pick up Sage and Chamomile behind the small hut. So I think we're gonna do that first. Right, and see what we can find here. The blind comps at the top of the screen will help you orientate yourself in the world. In hardcore mode, you won't see corner directions on it,
Shoulder still hurts like
but it
hell.
can still lead you to points of interest and quest
Now
destinations
it'll
if
tell me
you're
when it's gonna
close
rain.
enough. Yeah, I think we'll, we'll have to see, right? Because we're getting super fast, like hungry and stuff. So, what is that? Okay. Now, these are like blueberries, but it's not something we can pick up yet. Oh, nettle. Henry's just gonna pick up everything he sees right now, since he's obviously not yet in the position to really understand the herbs.
Purple flower, sage. There we go.
So I'm just gonna pick up a little bit more. The nettle as well. While we're already here. Since we're here, why not pick up a few more?
Ah, my back.
Oh shit, that already... Oh yeah, we have the negative perk, right? That's kind of like... There's a chance that you are... what is this actually again? Where is it here? Bad back. You hurt your back by back picking flowers, so you'll be hobbling for a while. Your movement speed is temporarily decreased. Oh, what? And I've heard that the chance of you getting like a broken back is actually
Back
pretty
to Bajana
high.
on the double. The sooner hands get
So I think,
empty.
we'll have to be just careful, right? I'm just gonna grab a bit more here and hope we will survive it.
Ah, my back.
Okay, but the chance of you getting a bad back is super high. And I think since Henry is still, like, injured, I think he won't pick up flowers further right now, since this is just, messing up with his luck. Oh, what a nice view here, guys. There's a village over there and a wooden bridge or something. Interesting. And I hear the dog.
What's that dog making such a fuss about? Could something have happened at Bajana's?
There's someone here.
Spit it out, crone. What fucking happened here? I'll kill you!
What?
Sick 'em,
Prepare
Growler.
to fight!
Okay, this guy is ripped.
Fuck!
I can't! But this guy I can't kill, or what? You will not escape! Brent! Oh god. What? Did you guys see that? How far did he just flew? Mikesh. He has food. We're safe, guys. I'm just gonna take everything. At the beginning, I think it's worth it that we're gonna pick up as much as we can, honestly. Oh, there's a boar. Yeah, but our overall food is gonna decrease pretty fast. But yeah, we have just found a decent amount of food. And I think, I think it's time for us to pick a carrot here on the way as a small snack. And then I think what we're gonna do as well, we're gonna try our luck and hopefully not kill ourselves while, transporting this corpse, right? Since we're still in the, since we still have a wound on the back, but we also... Oh, a boar. I'm not gonna try to scare him. And, you know, not only that, but we also, like, have already naturally a bad back. So we'll definitely have to watch out for that, right? But gradually...
My shoulder. Oh, this bastard's hard work.
But gradually, I think with time...
You can't be in the
Oh, God.
ground soon enough.
I think with time we can actually say, you know, Henry is getting into certain hobbies or has certain leisure activities. And I think picking up, like, or, you know, alchemy as a general, we might have some good story background there eventually. Since obviously, you know, Henry is getting into picking flowers rather early, right? After
May the
this
earth rest lightly on you,
accident.
bastard.
And I
You
think...
find peace.
Lepiota, I'll
Don't
take
come
it.
out to haunt anyone.
Since, you know, since he's, like, gradually learning skills again, and actually learning that skill pretty fast at the beginning, I think we can actually make sort of like a story out of that by saying, you know, he actually needs to do this, since obviously he has to survive here, right? It's not only he's relying on the help of Boshena, but he obviously also wants to make sure that he stays alive. And that one, you know, requires him to actually do everything which is needed to actually stay alive. And it obviously also means picking up, like, mushrooms here and there, like here. But also, like, getting food, right? And herbs for potential uses. Which obviously, right now, we don't really have to use any of these, since we really don't know anything about it. But, you know, Henry is trying to start to learn by at least, you know, picking up several things. And I think a good thing to do there would be actually as well to pick up those Amanita muscaria. Obviously, Henry doesn't really know yet that they're not edible. But, you know, he's obviously gonna just pick him up. And notices it along the way. But yeah, I think we'll now have to go back and talk to Boshena here, right? Yeah, but I think we did manage, right? We did manage to... Let's also wash that stench of the corpse away from us. But wait! Hold up, we just killed another guy. Shouldn't we also bury him first? I mean, we're already at it, and I think... You know, he has to be buried. Maybe let's see if we can find another spot here. Oh yeah, we can already somehow dig another grave here. Okay, so let's do that real quick. So that, you know.
Ah, fuck. Ah,
Yeah.
damn shoulder.
We have to get used to it again, that's definitely for sure. And obviously, you know, Henry is still super weak, so we have to take it easy after all. Even though we're lifting 2 corpses right now, but this is mostly because we need to get back onto, up to the feet, or on the feet pretty fast again. Since we obviously still have a larger task at hand, right?
Great loss. Even so, rest in peace, and may God give you your just reward.
Oh, the boar. But let us wash the stench of the, or the grime of the body again, right? So let's, that we can get rid of that. Okay.
Did they hurt you?
No, but I think they would have if you hadn't come along.
Who do you think they were?
I don't know what you heard, but when they turned up,
Yeah, who were
they
they?
found that dead fella and recognized him as one of theirs.
Oh, so these were
they
like
must be with
cutthroats.
that brute who caught up with you here
From the-
yesterday.
yeah.
Look here. I almost got slaughtered twice in one day on account of you two. God be praised that my Pavlena wasn't here. Heaven knows what they'd have done to her. So, I'd like to know why all this is happening. Your friend was talking in a delirium in the night, saying you was knights. But if you two are knights, then I'm the Queen of Sheba.
Well,
I think so, right?
bow to
She
your
deserves it.
ladyship. Sir Hans is the young lord of Leiper and Perkstein. I'm Henry of Skalitz,
Henry
son
of
Sir Radzig
Skalitz.
Cobbler, and I'm his bodyguard. We were heading to Trusky to deliver a message from Sir Hanish of Leiper and Margrave Jobst to Lord von Berghoff. But we were ambushed by bandits yesterday.
Yeah, that's pretty
down
much
by the
it.
pond. And you already know the rest. And as God is my witness, we're no bandits. I swear to you, I'm thankful to you for saving us. And I'm sorry it caused you trouble.
Well, you sound sincere, so I'll take your word for it. I hope I won't live to regret it.
You won't. I promise you.
Promises are made to be broken, but thank you for dealing with them.
Sure.
All
need
wise
for
words,
that.
I guess.
What about Sir Hans? How's he doing?
He's holding up, I'd say. I treated his wounds, and I'll change his bandages shortly. But what he needs most now is that remedy. Have you got everything for it?
Here. Chamomile and sage, like you said.
Excellent. Now to brew the potion from them. I gave you two the last of my supply during the night. But fresh is best anyways. It's a shame my daughter Pavlena ain't back yet. She'd get it done in a jiffy. But we'll just have to manage without her. But
Okay.
you can do it too. It ain't nothing hard.
Yeah, this is,
My
like I
eyes are
said,
so
we
bad,
can really get
it'd
into
take
it
me
here.
all day.
Especially with,
But at
the
least
hints
I can
of
tell you how to go about it.
her, right?
All right, I'll try. But I'm not sure how to do it.
I told you, I'll explain everything. I
Okay.
have a book here with the recipe, but it'll be better if I tell you. I know it by heart.
Let's see.
I can read as well as any man, if that's what you mean.
My word. Maybe you really are a noble son.
I'll take the book just in case, but if you give me some advice, I'd be grateful.
Of course. Everything we need is in the hut. Let's get to it.
Okay. Did you guys see that? She just, like, literally stood up and then... Okay. Wait, oh, that's the wrong hut. By the way, we did learn something. I certainly want to check this out. Alchemy here, guys. Alchemy was a discipline combining mysticism, hermeticism, chemistry, physics, and many other spheres of learning. Medieval alchemists worked in laboratories, often situated in noble mansions or in rural cities. They found employment in smelters, mints, mines, glassworks, and wherever industrial production needed assistance. The work of alchemists was challenging and costly, so it required the support of patrons. Successful alchemists earned wealth and fame, while the unsuccessful ended up in prison or were sentenced to death. Two fundamental alchemical objectives persisted through the entirety of the Middle Ages: find the mystical Philosopher's Stone and to transmute base metals into gold. In KCD, we use a genuine preserved chemical laboratory. As our model, though, the actual potion brewing has been modified. Instead of processing mercury and sulfur, our alchemists work mainly with herbs, just like herbalists and other folk healers would. Okay, so these are like the main items we have around. And that's obviously why we need to get into, like, potions and stuff anyway, right? What is this? Interesting. What is this? Oh, it's like where they are doing tanning rack, tend their hides and stuff, I think. Okay, let's get to it. I'm sorry. Start alchemy. Interesting. Okay. Chamomile potion. Alright. Look in the book. How can I?
Now
Okay.
find the recipe for chamomile decoction.
I think this is the only... Wait, what?
And
It's a
remember what
bit
you like
laggy,
to do.
guys.
Then get back to the bench and we'll start. All right.
No!
First, you have to pour the right base.
It's
into the
boggy. I
cauldron.
can't really
Choose
see
the
it.
right pitcher from the
You will
shelf
need
on the
wine,
left.
2 handfuls of chamomile, and a handful of
According to
sage.
the
Add the... Okay. Add the chamomile and boil for 1 turn. Grind the sage and add it to the cauldron. Chamomile... Okay, 2 handfuls of chamomile and 1 handful of... Okay. So we're gonna take chamomile, we're gonna take sage, and then it was wine, and we're gonna put that in, right? The good thing is we can't read, so at least we have
You
basic
don't remember
spells.
what did you pour in there?
Add
Wine,
the
of course. Like it says in the
chamomile
book.
Glad to hear
and
it.
boil for 1
Now
turn.
try moving the cauldron over the flame, so you know how it looks when it starts boiling a bit.
Yeah, but this is not what we're doing first, right? We have to... Okay.
Hear that bubbling? It's boiling. Remember that well. For most potions, you just have to simmer the herbs for a bit. But sometimes you need to get it good and hot. So you have to get the fire blazing under the cauldron using the
Oh, okay.
bellows.
But
Try
that's not what
fanning
it's
it with
part
the
of the...
bellows to get it boiling.
That's not what part of the recipe
It's
is right now, right?
boiling. To keep it going, you mustn't stop with the bellows. If you want to cool it down quick, take it off the flames.
Yeah.
Try it. Move the cauldron up. Good. Now we'll
Oh,
start with
okay.
the
So
brew.
it's more like
Get all the
learning
herbs
from
that
her.
you need ready. The ones you picked. Put them there on the shelf, so you've got them at hand. All right. Let's get to it. First, throw 2 handfuls of chamomile
Okay.
into the cauldron.
Chamomile. 1? At least Henry can count, right? That's a good thing. 2.
Before you put it on the flame, turn the sand glass so you know how long you're brewing it. It's got to be exact. Every grain of sand counts. See? When the sand has flowed out, that's 1 turn. That's how long you have to boil the chamomile. Move
Okay.
the cauldron to the fire and wait until it starts bubbling. Then turn the sand glass. As soon as the sand runs out, take the cauldron off the fire again.
Okay, yeah, it was...
Is that enough?
Yeah.
Take the cauldron off the flames.
We did that, and then... Grind the sage and all its... and add it to the cauldron.
All right. Now, take 1 handful of sage, grind it with a mortar and pestle, and drop it in the cauldron.
But we can't... Okay, so it's currently just... boiling, I guess? So let's use the mortar here real quick. Alright, so I think we got that ready, right? Don't we?
Have
And
you
then-
ground it?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, drop it in the cauldron. You
Does the
don't have
ground
to boil
sage-
it anymore. All you have to do now is decant it. Get a file.
File?
And pour it in.
Prepare file. Okay. And then pure.
Done.
Pure.
Now,
Not
let's
pure.
see
Pure.
what you've brewed.
Let's see if it worked, guys. Weak chamomile brew. Okay, so, you know, it wasn't really good, but we got 2 of them, it seems, right?
Should I have boiled that sage on a smaller
Yeah, I was, but we weren't able to pick it up from the fire, right? So it wasn't really a possibility right there. So I think we did the best we could. Wait, what? You guys see that? There is? I'm sorry, guys, this is so stupid.
By the smell of it, I reckon it's a bit weak.
But it will help, won't it?
I hope so. We'll see if it brings relief to Hans by morning.
All right. Is there anything else I can do to help?
I reckon you've done all you could. What you need now...
Yeah,
is a
exactly.
bit
I would
of
love to do
rest.
that.
Go and get a good sleep. That works wonders.
We will, but first, I would like to check out what we just have found here, guys. We have just found some various items here. And we might want to make use of this, right? And obviously a beggar's hood. I'm obviously not going to check out all the stats always. I also go like for subjective feelings, what maybe could fit for Henry. And I think, you know, we're going to stay with the vagrant boots. But these ones, honestly, they do look cool. I'm not going to lie, guys. Now, hopefully we can repair them. We can, so I'm gonna take these. Oh, it's really fitting to the top, right? So I think that's pretty good. And I think we did find a lot of food. So yeah, guys, we just did manage to survive this day, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode. We're slowly getting back our strength again, and hopefully, you know, we can get more strength after we slept a decent amount of time. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys around. See ya.